So here's a little friendly advice. I genuinely hope that I'm wrong, but I got a sneaky suspicion. We keep hearing about this dark winter. I think it was first bandied about by Sleepy Joe. Joe Biden has talked about dark winter more than once. If I'm not mistaken, other world leaders, forgive me if I get this wrong, but I think Justin Trudeau, Boris Johnson have mentioned dark winter. Now we have the CDC director. I just listened to James Corbett and James Evan Pilato on their New World Next Week episode, talking about an AP, Associated Press article mentioning it, and others. So this phrase dark winter keeps popping up. Most people, especially in the circles that I travel in, you possibly, like, little conspiracy-minded circles, most people think that what they mean by this is high COVID cases kind of a thing. And yes, they are ramping up the COVID cases because obviously they're about to roll out a vaccine, so they're ramping up the fear about COVID hospitalizations and deaths and whatnot. I got a different idea, because if you couple this with other articles and statements and predictive programming suggesting that there's going to be a cyber attack, or that we're sensitive, or that we're what's the word I'm thinking of? We're vulnerable to a cyber attack. Russia is going to hack our power grid, or China, whatever. I don't think a lot of people have put this together. And I hope I'm wrong, but dark means lights out. Winter is approaching the northern hemisphere right now, and if you're in the northern latitudes, you've already got a foot or two of snow. So you're full on winter. I'm in Atlanta, so right now the weather is not bad. I'm sitting outside and the sun is shining. I don't know, it's 55 or more degrees. Dark winter to me means lights out, no power. And it's pretty easy. All they got to do is flip a switch, shut off the power, blame Russia, cyber attack. How the hell are you going to know how or why it happened? So the bottom line, my advice is, if it's in your means, if it's in your budget, I suggest you go down to Harbor Freight and you get your hands on a generator. Something that'll power at least one space heater, a refrigerator, and maybe a couple of light bulbs. And keep in mind that your average space heater, like one of those little, the ones with the fins, the little freestanding, they're about that wide, and they're, maybe 2.5, 3 feet tall, and they got the fins, the little oil-filled register type things. Those things take about 1,800 watts. When they're on full blast, if you got that cranked up, 1,800 watts it takes to run that thing. I don't know what a refrigerator takes. It's easily searchable. And your average light bulb is 40 to 100 watts. So keep all that in mind when you're buying one. And you can pick up a not so expensive generator for a couple $100. You'll also want to have some fuel on hand, because the last thing you want is to be stuck in the dead of winter when your refrigerator food is going rotten and you're freezing your tits off because there's no heat and no power to run your system. And the worst case scenario is you hunker down in the living room or a bedroom with one space heater, as long as you got a generator to power that thing, and a light bulb or two, and something strong enough to run that plus your refrigerator. So that's my advice. If it's in your means, I suggest you go and do that. Because it's like insurance. It's like any weapon or tool. It's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Take care, everybody.